Hello, Toolkit Masters. Fantastic to have you here. 14th of September. Woohoo! Where's this year going? So great to be here. Great to be a part of Q&A Thursday again. We've got some really, really great things to discuss today. And it's all around why acknowledgement matters when dealing with your team. So first off, we're going to do some housekeeping like we normally do. So just down in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a comments there. And I'm just going to check it works for me. Yep. So if you could just let me know that you can see and hear me, that'd be fantastic. I am just going to check some technical stuff here. Okay. So if you can see and hear me, if you could just pop that into the comments below, and then I know that we're all on and everything's good. Okay. There's a bit of a delay, I think. Okay, we've got Janet on. I think there's somebody else on as well. All right. Okay, so let's start. Really, really exciting. Why acknowledgement matters. So William James, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's the father of psychology, really. He stated that the most fundamental psychological need is to be appreciated, right? It's to be appreciated. And you might have felt this before, whether you've been a part of a team and haven't felt appreciated, and that really kind of is a bit ouch. Yeah, it hurts. So this is why it's really, really important to make sure that we acknowledge our teams when they do the right thing. So we're going to take you through that today. And then I've got a couple of announcements at the end. So stay with me, bear with me, and we'll see how we go. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. So bear with me for 5 seconds. The 14th of September 2017. Fantastic. All right, so what have we got here? Why acknowledgement matters. So everybody wants to feel appreciated for the work they do, right? So for leaders, the payoff for showing your appreciation is the team members will do more for you. Team leaders often believe that they're more appreciative of their members than the team thinks. So you need to go over and above what you think is the norm, because what your normal is might not be what's perceived as enough, okay? So sometimes they don't appreciate their fellow, some leaders, they don't appreciate their fellow members, or the members themselves don't appreciate the leaders, and that can lead to all sorts of angst amongst the team. So if you've ever felt that your team members don't respect you, it could be because they don't feel like you appreciate them. So if you fail to acknowledge them or their hard work that they do for you, then, that's going to make them feel like you don't care. And that's not the case, is it? So acknowledging your team members is a really positive way to interact with them, and it can boost their respect for you as well in the interim. So acknowledge their hard work and the results they're getting. So reinforce the behaviours that you want to see the most often. So if the behaviours are good, if the results are coming good, then make sure that we encourage that and empower. And try to do this often. So it needs to be sincere and authentic, but it also needs to be specific though. So instead of blurting out, yeah, good job, everyone. So try to take time to thoughtfully explain your appreciation for the actions of the team member. So, go up to that particular member. Hey, that presentation that you did to management yesterday, it was well thought through. It was really succinct and to the point, and it was enjoyed by everyone. I'm getting heaps of positive feedback, so well done. So it's more specific, it's targeted to that person, it acknowledges the hard work that they've put in, and suddenly they feel appreciated. So it makes a huge amount of difference. So, so if you feel like that you've been under-acknowledged, or you've been under-acknowledging your team members, just try to tweak that into your everyday language, and it might be a bit of a stretch for you. And so we've got some hints and tips on what you can do to make that happen. But just in the interim, just try and think about if you acknowledge enough. And remember, your enough might not be their enough. So let's just think about that for a little bit longer. So I'm going to share with you 5 tips on what you can do to sort of increase that acknowledgement and get those team members that are working for you know that they're appreciated and know that you care. So as I said, sometimes it's a little bit of a stretch for people. So acknowledge what you do see and what's well done on a regular basis. So acknowledge it on a regular basis. Be as specific as you can, but there's also situations that it could be generic. So if it's a whole team effort, if there was a team day and everybody contributed and participated really well, then that might be a generalized, you know what, guys, we've come here, the team day went really well. It only went well because you guys contributed and participated really well. So great job, and let's do it again next year, or whatever it may be. And start with something small, and then move into bigger kudos if you're not used to giving acknowledgements. You know, so if someone's doing a great job, just go over and sort of give them a, you know what you're doing here is really great. I really appreciate it. And if that's all that's stretch for you, then let's go with that. And then we can always move on to some bigger kudos a bit later on. So start small and grow when you can, when you feel more comfortable to do so. The other thing about acknowledging others is being able to listen more. So listen to what other people are saying to you. So it feels good when somebody listens to you about an idea that you have on a project or a challenge, or you're trying to work through something, whether it be a problem or an issue or whatever. So, you know, do that for your team members as well. Put away those electronic devices, put down your phone, close your computer screen, and listen to your team. Because if they feel like they're listening, then they're feeling like they're being appreciated for their insights and thoughts and ideas. And that is part of acknowledging your team. So just try and listen more. I think that's really important, and it's one that's underused a fair bit. So it does make a difference to listen. And listen without any sort of intent to reply, and listen without being distracted by all those other things that come up. If somebody's coming to you with an idea or a proposal or something like that, it might not be something that you want to take on, but listen to it anyway, acknowledge that they've come up with a great idea, and then explain the reasons why, you know, it probably won't be something that was implemented in the near future because of whether it be budget constraints or time constraints or resource constraints or whatever it may be. But certainly make sure that you take that effort to listen. It's really, really important. The other thing is so often, you know, I've asked my team leaders that I'm coaching, so tell me about your team. Well, you know, what's their family structure? What do they do? What do they like to do? What are their hobbies? And so many times that they really, really don't know. So take an interest in your team member's life. Ask them basic questions about their favourite hobbies or their families or whatever. People feel appreciated when they know that you're interested in their lives outside of work. And people appreciate if you go up to them and say, hey, I heard that, you know, Nikki, your youngest daughter, was sick last week. I hope she's feeling better. All of a sudden, you're caring, and they will appreciate that. So really, really important to take an interest. You don't need to know the ins and outs, but certainly to a point where you can liaise in that really general discussion with them. So try and take an interest in your team's sort of outside hobbies if they're willing to share. Some people aren't, but for those that are, then take an interest. And also that includes you too. So as a team leader, it's okay to open up and share a little bit about yourself. It's okay to say, hey, you know, I've got my kids' first assembly or first thing this weekend for school, and I'm going to go down and check it out. I'm really excited for them. They've been practicing for the last 3 months, or whatever it may be. You know, share those little insights. I think it's really important to gain the rapport and respect of your team. So another tip for you too is if you've got somebody who's, you know, with your appreciation, with a bit of encouragement, with a bit of empowering, they're getting stronger and stronger in a particular stream of the work. So maybe that be on the computer, or maybe that'll be somewhere else. You know, offer further opportunities. Say, hey, Joey, I noticed that you've done really well on these past projects, and, you know, you're just getting stronger and stronger and stronger in that particular area. Listen, there's this course coming up. Is it something that you'd be interested in? So offer training and further education opportunities. So give team members work challenges even. So it might not be a training course, it might be a project that you know is coming up in a different department that they can be a part of. So that'll stretch them to grow and learn. And then just mentor them. Be there if they've got any questions and all those sorts of things, because that makes people feel appreciated, right? So if they're doing really good work and they're, you know, put in a lot of blood, sweat and tears into a particular program. They're getting acknowledged for that. They're getting encouraged. And then you come along and say, hey, you're doing a great job. What about this project here? Is this something that you want to be a part of? Because it's even more complex, but along the same lines. And the reason I want you to do it is because you're doing such a great job. I thought it would be interesting for you, and it's a bit of a stretch, so you might get some learnings out of it. All of a sudden they're feeling, wow, you know, this person believes in me. This person thinks that I've got some real good strengths here. So that's all about, you know, appreciating people's strengths. And I think it's important if you've got somebody who's showing that level of commitment to offer those further opportunities. And I guess the last tip, a simple thank you goes a long way in making someone feel appreciated for their work. So, you know, I know that the day-to-day things can get really, really busy, and, you know, you're running from one meeting to the next and you don't feel like you've got enough time, but just a simple thank you, just a simple eye-to-eye contact. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. Because let's face it, it's part of human nature to want to feel appreciated, and that we actually make a difference in this world. So if you can do that for your team in an authentic and genuine manner, then you're only going to get, you know, truckloads of respect and workload back. So it's great for both the team leaders and the team members to earn the respect and trust of each other. And this is a big way in doing that. So take the time to show your appreciation for your team, and then they will in turn do that back to you. So it's going to be really, really important to do that. All right, so in short, so what we've said is, yes, acknowledgement really matters. Remember, I said to you before, William James, who's the father of psychology, stated that the most fundamental psychological need of a human being is to be appreciated. Everyone wants to feel appreciated for what we do. And as you, for the leader, the payoff of showing your appreciation is the team members will want to do more for you. So, and remember, what you're doing now might not be enough. So it might not be perceived as you're appreciating. So just push it that little bit more, be a little bit more pronounced with it. Start simple at first, and yes, give yourself a stretch, but make sure that you're doing it enough and it's authentic and genuine. And remember, listen more. So listen to what they're saying to you. It feels good when you're getting listened to. So your team members are coming to you with insights, ideas, problem solving, all that sort of stuff. Really listen to what they're saying. So put down the phone, shut down the computer screen, and have a really good listen. Quickly, another one, take interest into what they're doing in their lives. So, you know, have a think about how can you engage in conversation and learn a little bit more about your team. What are their hobbies? What football team do they go for? You know, how many kids have they got? That sort of stuff, because that goes a long way, and you being able to have those conversations with them that can build that trust and respect. Oh, how's the new school going for the kids? And, you know, how was the house move? And how was that holiday to Bali that you went to, or whatever it may be? It's going to make a really good headway into having those conversations and being able to gain a bit of rapport through your team members. And remember, have those further opportunities. So somebody, if through your encouragement and appreciation and all that sort of stuff, they're really setting goals on fire, stretch them a little bit, take them to that other project, get them that training that they desire, all those sorts of things, offer them further growth opportunities. And then obviously just the last one is a simple thank you. So I hope these little 5 tips have helped you on how we can acknowledge our people and how we can make it a real difference in our, not only our teams, but in ourselves as well. So if you've got any more, absolutely come and let me know and tell me about them, because I'd love to hear if there's anything that's worked for you. And we'll put them on the website so everybody can see, or we'll actually put them on the Facebook site so everybody can see. But certainly those five have been ones that have worked for me in the past and worked for other team leaders. So really, really good ones to use. Okay, so it's question time. Didn't get any questions through Q&A Thursday, so I'm assuming everybody's in a pretty good space, or they're so busy that, you know, things are a bit tough at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back and we'll have a bit of a face-to-face. And in that meantime, while I'm getting you back, and maybe you can have a think about if you have any questions for me. All right, here we go. I don't normally do it. I just found an easier way to do it. Woohoo! It's always good when you get that. Okay, so you're back. So hopefully acknowledging your team members is something that you can start doing a little bit more of. It really has fantastic benefits, not only for you as a leader, because your team is going to want to do more for you, but it also has really, really good impact on your team members. They start feeling like they're value adding. They start feeling like they're making a difference and they're being appreciated for the efforts they're doing. So they're going to want to do that more. So, so I think it's really, really important, and probably a skill that's easy to do. Might be a stretch for you at the start, but you'll start to get used to how it works. But it's an easy win. It's low-hanging fruit. You can have a multitude of difference with not too much effort on your part. The biggest thing that I'll say to you, and I'll reiterate to you again, is that it has to be authentic and it has to be genuine. So going up to someone who's doing a bit of a half-assed job and go, great job, yeah, keep going, that's not going to cut it. It has to make a difference, because if the people that are doing a good job see you going up to people who really aren't and giving them encouragement and appreciating and all that sort of stuff, they will diminish the meaning of your appreciation. So just make sure that it's done in a genuine way and it'll all be good. Okay, so have you got any questions for me? Is there anything that you've got on your mind? Have you got any roadblocks, issues? Or do you want to share a success with me that you might have had in the past? Then come on down and ask a question. I think we've got three people on the line. So I will just freeze for a couple of seconds, just in case there's anything. If you don't have anything, that's fine. Not for you, Janet? No worries at all. All right. Looks like everybody's good. Okay, excellent. So a couple of announcements. Q&A Thursday next week. If you've got any questions, remember, please use the email address ask@teamleadertoolkit.com and bring them all through. That'll be fantastic. We are engaging now with somebody to be with us for our Expert Secrets webinar. So we've just started the consultation phase. So we're really excited about that. So you should see something coming down the line soon. So really, really excited. And I would absolutely put that on, I'll email you all those details once they come into fruition. And we are still working hard on those workshops. So if there's any face-to-face workshops you want, really around resilience, presence, building trust in teams are the ones that we're working on currently. There's some really good stuff in those. I've actually had to pull some stuff out because it's a bit too big. Hi, Leanne, all good for you? Fantastic. Nice to see, know that you're on the line and you can see me. Yeah, so those things are happening as well. So if there's anything there that you've got, then or anything there that you need, then drop us a line and we'll see that if we can cater for that. Team Leader Toolkit, the unlocking portal that you guys have got access to now, has gone out live. We've actually started the introductory process of the normal price of, or the introductory price of $4.97. Just to let you know, if you see any advertisements now, we've actually moved on to the regular price of $9.97. So if you see any advertising and the price has changed, that's because we're out of our introductory phase now and we're into the normal phase. So that's the normal price. If there is anyone who I have quoted at the original price, then that price will still be valid. So it's all good. Okay, so without further ado, I hope this helped you today. I hope you got something out of it. Remember, acknowledge your teams. You might think you're doing it now. It might not be quite enough, okay? So just try and stretch it out that little bit more, but make sure it stays genuine and authentic so that what you say is going to be taken as it's intended with truth. So yes, fantastic. All right, Leanne, Janet, lovely for you to join me. Hopefully we'll see you next week. And if you've got any questions, remember, ask at teamleadertoolkit.com, teamleadertoolkit.com, and I'll answer them within 24 hours. Plus, we will put them, with your permission, onto the live weekly coaching. All right, so thank you for joining me for Q&A Thursday. I will see you next week, same time, same back channel. Have a great evening, afternoon, wherever you may be in the world, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.